Stream your favorite games in video. If you want to use the wire up the VCS, there's a little flashing Bluetooth fuck. Hey folks, fair heads up that my videos tend to be long and long-winded. Therefore, there is a table of contents down in the description below so you can skip past things you might not want to see. Please take advantage of that. Also note that if you get here really early, that TOC might not be done yet, so hang in there, it'll get there eventually. Hey there, real gamers and gatekeepers, Retro Rob here, and it's time to start a video that I've been dreading doing. Not because I dread the product. Those who have watched this channel regularly know that I tend to only cover products I think I'm going to like. I think there's a huge negativity in gaming that needs to be addressed. I mean, the whole idea of having, doing gaming, it's to have fun. If you're not having fun while gaming, and if all you're doing is just balling yourself up with hate about stuff, I don't know why you're there. Why do you do it? I have the same attitude in my job at work. I don't understand why you'd be in IT if you don't love it, and I don't understand why you'd be in gaming if you don't. But there is this contingent of negativity, and it's something that I try to not get into on this channel, and I generally try to avoid that kind of stuff that I think is going to draw that kind of attention. But this particular product will draw that kind of attention. So fair heads up, this is an adult's channel. If you're not acting like an adult, I will kick you off of it. Let's keep going. Let's spin this up with a happy face. Anyway, it is the Atari VCS. Yep, there we go. I did order it. My rules for engagement on this is that I never, ever kickstart a project with money I can't afford to lose. And I absolutely recommend, if you're spending your last dime on a kickstart, you are making bad choices. You need to really, really look at how you are managing your money. But anyway, so I always gave this kind of a 50-50 chance of showing up, so I'm very happy that it showed up. The packaging looks amazing. We'll be doing the general unboxing in a minute. It does have this wireless modern controller, quote modern controller, that came with it. I don't have any real feelings on that, to be honest. You could use an Xbox controller with the thing, a modern Xbox controller with the thing, and I probably would have been better off doing it. But the star of the show for me is this awesome remake of the original VCS controller. And I think by all accounts, this is really awesome. As far as the VCS goes, I have been following it since way before the general press picked it up. I caught it when the original press releases got the device completely wrong. They haven't really changed anything about the description of this device. I mean, from their tech cruise statements since the beginning. And I think a lot of people read press releases about what it was going to be and became upset because it didn't match that or thought they were changing their stories. No, the press just basically heavily got it wrong. Not all the press, but some of it. And there's been a lot of, I'm gonna keep this short. I gotta keep this short. Okay, there's been a lot of stuff about how Atari handled it. I mostly agree with most of the statements that I think Atari fumbled the ball heavily, if not some worse statements that I've made about it. But I don't know how that affects the product itself yet because I haven't tried it. But I do know that some people have doubled down. First they said, well, it's never going to get released, even though there's pretty good evidence that they were partnering enough to get it done. And, if you're sitting there saying it's a scam the whole time, you have no choice but to hate the thing. I'm not sure yet. I've heard, based on what I've heard, if the specs are what it says it is, I'll be pretty happy with it. But I'll give a final thought on that. I'm holding it open. All right. right. Well, I suppose we're gonna get to the unboxing now. What's in Rob's box? And here it is, my friends, the front of the box, the Atari VCS. Video computer system, gaming plus PC plus streaming. This is the model 800 with 8 gigs of RAM. And of course, it's the collector's edition. And here's the back of the box. Got the Atari Vault, which I believe is where all the games they promised for free are. Yeah, there we go. We've got Tempest 3000. Got some old Atari games. Roller Coaster Tycoon, right? That's one of Atari's major productions. Now, I've never played the game. Hey, are they including that? Because that would be awesome. Really would be. Anyway, there's that Adventure remake, or Adventure 2. I've seen it before anyway, but I'm not exactly familiar with it. And yeah, I mean, it's a nice box, by the way. If you're gonna rate the box, it looks good. It would look good on a shelf, no problem. They have definitely not skimped on their production quality on their box. Geez, can you tell I'm nervous on this? An icon reimagined. Atari returns to the living room with the Atari VCS, a completely modern gaming and video computer system, blending the best of consoles and PCs to delight a whole new generation of gamers and creators. Play new and retro games and apps, includes 100 plus Atari classics. Stream your favorite games and videos in 4K resolution. Never been a big fan of game streaming. I mean, I got 500 down, 20 up here, and still I don't feel really impressed with game streaming, but that's just me. You know, I know there's a lot of people who are into it, and there's nothing wrong with that, but not my thing. Discover Atari's classic joystick and modern controller featuring LED effects and rumble. What does the new Atari joystick have rumble in it too? Because that would be pretty freaking cool. Customize unique PC mode, upgradable RAM and storage. An upgrade, of course, is my main plan. I plan to upgrade this with a larger hard drive and put Ubuntu on it. I'm going to review this right now, or give my impressions of this right now as it is, but I will definitely be talking later about playing games on it in Ubuntu and doing other things in Ubuntu on it. Those are planned for separate videos, though. All right, folks, it's unboxing time. There were two pieces of tape, one on the right side, one on the left side, that held the box shut. I took those off before doing this. And let's see what's in the box. Oh, that's very nice. Look at that. It's got a little, again, you know, really nice packaging. You got the little asteroids on there. And foam on the top. That's pretty nice. And here is the Atari itself. We're going to come back to this in a minute. I want to look at whether this is wood or not, because I believe that was in the original specs, that the front was supposed to be wood. It is pretty heavy. It does not feel light and cheap. It came with my official Atari VCS Collector's Edition seal of authenticity. I'd love to see Chinese knockoffs. That'd be pretty funny. And then power brick is unbranded. Just a generic brick. Does come with an HDMI cable. And the rest of this is power. And I think that is pretty much it. A couple quick notes of places to go and people to see. I'll try and put a link down for Atari's Discord chat. Atari's Discord has a whole lot of help from people who are really knowledgeable about the VCS. There's a whole bunch of tutorials there as well on how to upgrade the RAM and upgrade the hard drive. So you might want to check that out. All right. Before I continue on, there is a quick start guide on the front of this. There you go. The steps to hook it up. Nice. All right, so I know the big question that everybody's asking is going to be, does the Atari VCS have that new game system smell? Oh, it does, and it smells glorious. You know what? Number one, doing that is gonna give me cancer someday. But number two, this thing actually does feel very solid in the hands. It does not feel cheap. All right, so here's the front of the device. I'm going to point out that there are lights behind this that light up when you power the device up. I will show you that later. This, of course, is part of the unboxing. This does feel like it's actual wood. Yeah, it's actually made out of wood. The front is actually made out of wood, so they did not renege on that. There are two USB 3 ports on the front of it. Looking at the bottom, look at it, already dog hair. Looking at the bottom, it does have rubberized feet, which I always like to see. Turn around the side, and I'll give you a couple of different angles of it. It's actually a very nice looking device in person. Back has a couple of vents, looks a bit like a gaming laptop. And then, as you can see, we got marked USB, HDMI, Ethernet, the AC adapter, and of course the power button is on the back, which is kind of a weird design. Unless it goes to sleep, who knows. I'll take a couple shots of what it looks like from different angles. By the way, mine is number, where is it? 1,300 and I believe 56. I can barely see it. It is actually a very good looking device. I understand that some people don't agree with the this kind of domed look at the top or pyramid look at the top, but I think it looks really good in person. Nice. And here's the box for the wireless modern controller. Got those nice stripes on it, and let's flip this over. There's a little bit of a description here. Engineered in partnership with PowerA, the all-new Atari VCS modern controller is designed for full-featured wireless gameplay. So it's got both Atari and powerless PowerA. Oh yeah, PowerA logos on it, and it's not coming off. It's fighting me. Why are you fighting me? Seriously, what the heck? I'm like really fighting with this. Oh, there we go. And there we have the Asteroids logo again, Atari VCS, and we'll open it up. And it also has a quick start on the front, which is kind of nice. I realize it's not necessarily needed, but neat nonetheless. Okay, we got the controller over here, and yeah, that is a nice long cable. Hey, good job, guys. Actually, I like that. It has a decent long cable. It uses micro USB though instead of USB-C, which I think is a little weird, but you know, most stuff's USB-C now. Yeah, the weight feels adequate. It has a decent feel to it. The caps are rubberized. The D-pad, I'd prefer to cross. I'm big on the cross D-pad as opposed to this kind of rounded one, but I'm sure a lot of people find it acceptable. ABXY placement is good for the thumbs. Might be a little bit of a stretch for people with small hands. I have big pterodactyl hands, so yeah, looks very nice. Nice logo too. And let's take a look at this. Look at the triggers. So it's got one red trigger, one black trigger, which is kind of a unique look. It has bumpers. You know, really, this looks very nice. It's a very nice looking controller. No complaints. And here we are with the wireless classic joystick. Joystick it is, not just a controller. It's not, no D-pad here. Anyway, looks very nice. Mine got some damage in shipping, my box, so I'm kind of sad about that. Wish they would have been a little bit more careful about that because that's a big deal. The box itself The outer box wasn't damaged, so I've got to assume it was put in there like that, so I'm kind of sad about that. But, oh well, I'll live. Engineered in partnership with PowerA, Atari's iconic game controller is reborn as the new Atari VCS Classic Joystick and features like rumble, LED light effects, and a second fire button to give retro gaming new life. And it probably did need a second button, to be fair. And let's open that up. And of course, yet again, we've got that. I wonder if they've got the same size box. I should have checked that. And here's the joystick itself. Pull it out. Ooh. Not coming out easy. And yet again, they have included a really nice long cable of decent quality. Thanks much for that. That is good. Nothing but positive to say about that. I wish more companies would include decent cables, decent length cables. Okay, joystick itself feels a little loose, but it's not terrible. And then we got just got the A button basically. There's also a button right here on the edge. And then you've got the Atari logo to power it up. Oh, that's actually really cool. Look at that. Can't wait to try that. And then it's of course got the menu and back buttons also built into it, so you can actually fully use it. Looks like it's in linking mode right now. Neat. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention about this controller, it also doubles as a paddle. Much like the second Atari model from Japan. This of course is the US import of it. Wasn't made by Sears, but was rebranded by Sears. But anyway, the basic idea was that this was also a joystick and you could use it as a paddle. So that's really nothing new to Atari. And there she is. I am going to go power it up, try it out for a little bit, and get back to you with my opinions. Of course, there will be some gameplay involved. Alright, so I always get abuse if I don't actually show you where everything connects. So here we go. AC adapter goes right there. And then HDMI goes right there. And there's the power button. Also note the Ethernet jack if you want to connect this directly to the internet instead of using wireless.
Thumbs up, comment and subscribe or I will go Skynet on your butt.
Here we have the first time startup of the Atari VCS, and looks like I need to connect some controllers. So I'll do that. Alright, so I've got both the controllers plugged in, and I guess I hit the Atari logo to go next. Yep. There we go. It's got a nice little menu system. Gotcha. And this is a first time power up, so I'm going to have to set it up. Okay, and you're gonna have to hold on while I enter my password. Alright, so first thing to note is it is currently installing updates. So that was the first thing it did once it got connected. And I hear there's been a number of updates. This is probably a little bit over a month, I think, after the initial release of the system. And so I don't know if my experience with the update is going to be different from anybody else's or not. But just note that this is a point in time. And keep that Atari plugged in. Hold on a second. Just a fair heads up, this update takes quite a while. It's been about, I don't know, about 4 or 5 minutes now, and it's sitting at 96%. So I'll restart the recording once it's done. Okay, so it just restarted from its update. Here we go. I heard it goes through a little something at the beginning of this, but I don't know because, again, those were early reports. Yep. It just rebooted again, I believe. I can hear the fans kicking. They're pretty loud right now. Alright, so I heard reports that there were like some progress bars and such. But that doesn't appear to be the case. That said, again, might have just been, you know, earlier versions of the update, or this has been quite a while. Alright, there we go. We're back in English. And that's kind of interesting right there because I've already set this up. Oh wait, yeah, it says it's connected, so here. It's updating again and restarting again. And that was step 3 of 3 though. Oh no, that's what it was last time. Interesting. Here we go. Now it's actually doing the update. So it's a very, it set it up in the corner. Yep, there we go. It's actually showing you the flash. Interesting. Much more computer than game system. I mean, game systems are computers, but you know what I mean. Alright, I don't think you need to watch this whole thing. I'll pause the recording until it gets to 100%. Alright, just made it to 100% and it's rebooting right this second. And you can hear the fans kicking back on. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear the fans kicking back on. And again. Here we go. It does boot up pretty fast. I hear this thing only has 32 gig hard drive built into it. So that'll probably have to be addressed at some point. Oh, looks like it's doing another update. I think. Nope, it's ready. Like that intro. And there we go to setup again. So the initial setup's a little rough. There we go. And there we go. You have to create a new account. So you can go as a guest, I suppose, and we can take some first looks. But it looks like I'm gonna need to create a VCS account for this. Hi, guest. And got home. Got games. There's a firmware update for the controller. Apps. And that's pretty snappy. No problems there. There's the store. Danger, Scavenger, Frog Hop. I like the kind of classic Atari look. I have nothing bad to say about this, to be honest. This interface is okay. It's not amazing, but it doesn't annoy or get in the way so far. We'll see how I feel about that later. Also note that the store does have... How do you do the left trigger to reset the filters? So, wait. Huh, there we go. Oh, no. So, I'm gonna have to figure this one out. But there's a way to filter, it looks like. Oh, wait. There we go. And there's yeah, different filters. That's not terrible at all. And let's just take a really quick look at the settings. Here we go. And this is not an Ultra HD TV. I do have one though. Or a 4K TV. Network. Devices, and I think you go in here and you can update the controllers through here. So I can update the modern controller. And then there's a storage section. Again, this is first time going through, so I'm not really familiar with the menu system yet. But, you know, my current feeling on it is pretty good. It's got a nice interface. I've always been annoyed by my inability to find things on the Xbox, in the Xbox interface, and this is a lot cleaner and nicer. So, not that I really think this is something that, you know, you're not going to be like, hey, should I get the Atari VCS or should I get the new Xbox? It's not going to be that kind of thing, but I do like the fact that they've put a nice, simple interface in here that just seems to work. So I'm going to go play around with it a little bit and then choose some things to show you, and then we'll play some games. Here we are in the Atari Store, and I think the first thing you're going to notice is there's not a whole lot there yet. And that is something I think Atari really needs to work on. Got to make sure you get a whole lot of games in here. I'm a little concerned with the price of many of them. I think the price point they should probably be shooting for is a few bucks. And I think they can probably get people to start buying stuff on here. Andstream Arcade is free. Also note that Missile Command Recharged is also a free download. Unsung Warriors Prologue. I don't think the full game's out yet, but you can download this as well, but that's basically it for free. I did buy a couple games. Seemed pretty smooth to me. I didn't have any problems. Note, here, I'm going to just, let's do Missile Command. All right, so if I go in here, you can take a look and it'll have a description. In many cases, the descriptions are actually pretty good. This is one of the weaker descriptions, to be honest. If I press down, I can see some pictures of the game, so I got an idea what I'm getting into. And then I'm going to press back up, and notice that I have the ability to rate, and there are ratings on the games, so not bad. Pretty nice. So again, it's a nice store. I don't see anything wrong with it. I like the appearance. I like how easy it is to search for things in the store. I showed you that a little bit earlier, but if I press the menu button, I can just basically sort through them. There's not that much to sort through yet, though. But other than the fact that there's not much here, the store is clean, nice, easy to get through. So it's pretty good. Just, I don't know how many times I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it a lot during this. Needs more stuff in it. So here we are on the login screen, and I want you to note that little Bluetooth symbol floating in the corner. That is because I don't have any controllers synced up with this yet. When I initially set it up, I actually used cabled controllers to connect to it, but you don't really have to do that. What you can do is you can use your controller by pressing and holding the Atari symbol until it starts flashing really fast. There it goes. See it flashing? And then take a look. It just picked up the classic joystick, and it's instantly ready to go. Alright, say I've already got my first controller plugged in and working, and I want to sync the classic controller. Well, I'm going to go over here to System, and then I'm going to go to Devices, and down to Pair New Controllers. This is how you get non-affiliated controllers to work too. Put this thing in pairing mode by pressing the button for a long time. And now it's fast flashing. And there it is. The classic controller is now paired with the system. Same thing with an Xbox controller. Alright, just for the sake of thoroughness, I'm going to pair an Xbox controller. So let's hit Pair New Controllers, Pairing. Turn on my Xbox controller with the pairing mode on. You can do this And there we go. Xbox controller has now shown up. And I am now using my Xbox controller. So you can use Xbox controllers as a secondary or primary controller on this device. All right, here we are on the VCS Vault 1, which comes free with the game system. We've got an arcade section. We've got the Atari 2600 section. And then what we've got is basically the same games arranged alphabetically or by category so that you can find them. On the other side, of course, you got play, you got manuals, and you've got options. One of the options is to turn off the background music in the menu, which drives me bat crud, so I've already done that. All right, just gonna scroll through these real quick. And you got a little bit of everything here. It's nothing that hasn't been done in other Atari collections. But the thing that's kind of cool about it is what I'm about to show you right now. And that is, I'm about to play Tempest with a rotary controller. And this is great. And press start. Oop. Choose my level. I'll just start at 1 because it's really easy to talk. And here we go. So, one of the big annoyances with playing games like this is that, there's not rotary controllers on modern joysticks. So, you're basically using the analog stick to control this generally. This is so much better. It is great. And I really hope that developers take note and make more games that will utilize this feature, because that's what's really unique and enjoyable. I suppose you could probably get MAME to use this controller too if you just bought the controller. Oh, you're dying. There we go. So the A button does primary fire, and the B button does your super zapper. Another kind of neat thing is while I'm playing, this controller actually... Oh, crud. Actually does some reaction to what I'm doing. So, like, between levels, it flashes at you. It's pretty cool. Oh, hey, one more note. If you want, you can adjust the graphics in this so that it looks a little bit more vector. There's also some more options as well if you want to be a little bit more garish. Ugh, I am doing terrible. Game over, that's what I get for talking, but geez, was that cool. I really enjoyed that. So, no actual complaints with that part of it. There we go. Yeah, my high scores are weak. Let's go on. Alright, so here we are on the Atari 2600 side of things. I'm just going to scroll really quickly through what games are available. Good collection of games. There's some really good stuff here. There's some okay stuff. I'd like to see the Activision collection come to this system. That would be really nice. So I can play some of the old Activision classics. But there's actually a lot of fairly interesting stuff on here. It's weird seeing Sentinel. Anyway. Keep going there. Star Raiders. How's that going to work without a gamepad? I guess you plug in your keyboard, maybe? Stellar Track. I used to love that game. By the way, here's a game that is not very video appropriate. It is not the friendliest. but neat. I like the spinning effect of the cartridges. And again, can't complain about the selection too much. Alright, let's get back. Almost there. To bowling. Alright, so here we are on bowling. One thing to note is that there is a resume function, and number 2, you have to make sure that the right hand menu here is selected to actually play the game. Otherwise, you'll end up with a different option. It's hard to explain why it's confusing, but it is confusing, just so you know. One thing I do want to show is that in options, if you never liked the controls for a game, you can actually remap them, which I think is pretty darn cool. So if I wanted to change that, there we go. I'm not going to do that though, because that would be crazy. Also, let's go to display options. I'm not a big fan of scan lines, fake scan lines, so I'm going to just leave that. And hit back. And then let's resume. And I'm going to reset it to show you this. Instead of having to go through the obscure manual to pick out which game you want, fortunately, they have really thought this out. And you can just choose everything. So, here we go. Oh, I must have had it on curve. Oh, the suffering. Heck yeah. All right. Oh, sure. I've heard people say that there's a better bowling game than this, but I don't believe them. I'd have paid $400 just to play this game. True story. Not a very true story, but I do love this game. That's how I feel about it. And here's Missile Command Recharged, which comes for free with this game system. I'm going to note one thing about this game. I did notice that if I have my Atari Classic controller plugged in as port 2, this will, it'll cause it to drift a little bit. So just make sure you either have your VCS or whatever the heck you want to call it, Classic controller, plugged into port 1 or have it unplugged, is what I'm saying. Oh no, it's hit my missile tower. That was bad. And I'm down to one missile tower already. By the way, this is one of those games that has upgrades and such. So in between rounds you get to... There we go. Come on. Come back! No! Oh, come on! No! Oh! That's the worst feeling in the world. Well, that didn't last long. So I can go in between and I can unlock different upgrades. Then use them on my next round to improve my score. Pretty cool. Nice little game. And here we have some Unsung Warriors. By the way, this game can be played with the classic controller. Don't do that. There's a few too many buttons to make that reasonable. All right, here we go. Oh, I messed up again. Ooh. Double jump. There we go. This game is actually really pretty great. I can't wait till the full release. And enter. Well, hello there. And open the shop. I could get a frying pan. Let's see, sell. Okay, so I do 2 to 4 right now. Four to 4. Look at that mace. 5 to 6. I want that. I have to settle though. Yes. If I was smart, I would have sold my crude cleaver. There we go. Do I have money for anything else? Huh. Have to check those out too. All right. Actually, I could use some health. Buy. Oh, I don't have enough. Oh, no. Could have used that. I like how Mario-esque that was. No. You're down. I don't like the looks of those. Yep, knew it. I also have a shield. Should have probably used that. Don't go all the way in. Good. I wonder if something great was the other way. Now you're gonna suffer. Use a shield on me. Not getting a lot of money. Is that something I can pick up? Oh, I get it. Sweet. Nice. Keep using that dash. Oh, come on! That's some BS right there. Ooh, save point. There we go. Keep running. Well, that was not super easy. I'm glad they put the save points where they did. There we go. Oh, shoot. Alright, one more game to go. Alright, here we have Danger's Scavenger, and surprise, it's $5 cheaper here than it is on the Steam storefront. So, that's good, right? One thing I do wish this game would let me do is remap the controls. But this is a dual stick shooter. It's quite a bit of fun. It's got some slowdown in it, which is kind of annoying. But it plays well enough most of the time. I was actually kind of surprised that. Alright, let's go this way. It slowed down at all, but 'tis what it 'tis, I guess. And hopefully performance will pick up over time. It's got a fairly decent processor in it. Ooh, that was very happy. Played this a couple times yesterday and I was fairly happy with it. Oh yeah! Actually, it's running smoother today than it was yesterday. I wonder if it was something due to first time setup. Huh. Well, buddy. Alright, let's go this way. And this is technically a roguelite, which, as we all know, is one of my favorite genres. So I was pretty darn happy to see it here. Oh shoot! Really? Quit coming in behind me. Ooh. There we go. This one's kind of funny because I thought, hey, with that modern controller, wouldn't it be nice if they had some stool stick shooters, which, yeah, those are, yeah, you don't want to play those. But anyway, I was thinking, boy, I wish there was a dual stick shooter, and sure enough, there is. I'm gonna do the heal. Oh wait, can I do? No, I can't buy that though. Not enough money. Oh, come on. Alright, that thing needs to go. Good. It's gone. I'm out of ammo. Switch weapons. I kind of want this rocket. You know what? My secondary's out anyway, so. That thing's still alive, huh? There we go. Dang it, I hate when they sneak up behind me. Bugger. I'm pretty shot up now. I don't know if I'm really into that heavy weaponry. Alright, so there's another enemy up ahead. I like that it has arrows to tell you where they are. Super helpful. Note the Atari logo out there. Ooh, secret hatch. Money. Run! Too bad there weren't heals in there. Alright, there's 2 more enemies. Applies random effects when attacking. Well, I get 2 drones. I didn't get that last time. Huh. Come on, you. Oop. Alright, I got a couple more topics to cover. I will do this game in a gameplay video because I'm enjoying it pretty much. So we'll make a separate video on this game alone. And let's go talk a little bit about a couple other things on the VCS. Alright, so right now I'm in the Netflix client. It's not really a client. It basically is just you going to their website. It's got a shortcut to the website. To deal with this, you either will want to download the app. There is an Atari app, and it will basically control it like a mouse would. The other thing you could do is you can plug in a mouse and control it that way, which is a little bit awkward, because I'm assuming it'll be under your TV, which is where I'd put mine. The third thing is something I recommend, and it's one of these little guys. This is an all-in-one keyboard, and it also acts as a little touchpad, so I can control it using this as well. As long as I'm not using... Well, I'll be darned. So I used this app and it turned it off. Huh, that's interesting. But anyway, you can use either or. Apparently you can't use both at the same time though. So there's that. Not amazing. I really hope that they come out with a dedicated client for this. I did try watching a couple videos. Had no problems. It streamed really nice. Looked really good. So there's no problems there. It's just that the controls are a little funky, but at least they give you something so you can do it. And here's Discord for no adequately explained reason. There's the G2B server, there's the Retro Rob server. And, again, basically this is just the Google Chrome browser. So you can actually sync up. If you go right into the Chrome browser, from the menu, you can actually just basically hook up your account and have all your saved passwords and everything and make it really easy. So there's nothing wrong with that. This is a Linux box, basically. So, you know, it has all the accoutrement of that. Accoutrement. All right, one more thing to mention. All right, so here we are with my first impressions of the Atari VCS. As far as the hardware goes, I was pleasantly surprised by the modern controller. It actually is fun to play with, which is high praise coming from me, who basically hates anything that isn't an OEM controller. Well, I guess this is an OEM controller, so there we go. But I pretty much hate everything outside of the Xbox One circle of controllers. It really works well. I don't think I can think of a complaint I have with it. I have very little complaints about this guy either. This thing's freaking great. I really like it. Sorry, you know, it's fun to play with. I like it. I'm glad that they didn't chintz out on it. I'm glad that they put some thought into the design. It's a really nice controller. If you buy nothing else, by the way, go pick up this controller if you like playing, you know, like old Atari games, because it's really fun to play on it. Finally, the VCS itself. Are there better deals to be had? Sure. But the VCS is very open. I will say that I did do some pricing on AMD processors with 8 gigs of RAM. It's hard to find anything with only 32 gigs of storage, which is one of my big complaints about the thing. It should have came with more storage. But the price range, yeah, it's on the upper part of it. But you could pay more for something in the same area, and you could pay less. I will say that most of them that are less expensive do not have the expandability options, like installing another hard drive and booting off of it, or doesn't have the ability to expand RAM, which you can do on this. You can, I hear you can pump it up to 32 gigs of RAM. Not that running Ubuntu or something like I'm going to run, you need that, but if you're going to run Windows, you can do, you know, 16, 32 gigs of RAM. It would be just okay, you know. Wouldn't be amazing or anything, but you also get this nice look. I hate to say it, but I do like it. Let's get to the interface. It's bare bones. It's clean. I don't have a lot of complaints about the interface, except Atari, if you're listening, get rid of this. Get rid of this box look. At first I didn't mind it, but after looking at the store, it would be better if the entire interface just looked like the store. The store looks great, in my opinion, and the other ones just kind of look, I don't know, they look kind of 90s. It doesn't look like a finished interface. Obviously, to become a streaming box, which is what I think would make it so a lot of people would keep this OS on here, it's definitely going to need some native ports of things like Netflix, Amazon, and of course Hulu. Those things, those three, I'd imagine Twitch too, but those things having a native port are a big deal and really impact how this device is going to be taken. So that definitely needs to be fixed. Obviously needs more games. I'm sure they're aware of that. Need to keep the prices down on the games. These aren't too bad. When you start getting to the $20 range, people are looking for a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more 3D-ish modern looking games. There's exceptions to that, so if they're really good, people will come to it, but you got to really keep an eye on those prices because you want people to buy stuff on the store. I would like it personally. I don't know if that's a really possible thing, but if they opened it up just a little bit more, so, you know, they're going to hate me for this, but if I could install Steam on here, that would be pretty awesome. To be honest, if I could just throw Steam on here, I'd probably be tempted not even to put Ubuntu on there. I'd probably just run this OS as it is because it's got a really nice interface. Other things to say about it, definitely needs a bigger hard drive. I alluded to that earlier. Another thing is they probably do need to bring the price down a little bit over time. If they could knock it down, another $50 to $100, it would probably make it a lot more marketable, and it would probably sell pretty decent, I think. I don't think it'll do awful as it is, But somebody that's just going to buy a game system is probably not the target audience for this. Somebody that's going to buy a PC is not really the target. It's kind of the area taken by Nvidia right now, which is things like the Nvidia Shield TV. This, at a slightly lower price point, would really be able to eat that market up, because it is a neat little device and it's got a lot going for it. It just needs a little bit more, a moderate amount more of fit and finish. But I don't hate it. I'm enjoying it. I'm glad I bought it, and it's going to sit under my TV, and I guarantee I'll be playing it some with the missus. So anyway, that's all I really have to say about it. Judgment's still out. I got to see where it goes, to be honest. But it's not terrible. Sorry, people that want to hate on it, that's just how you're going to be. But it's not terrible. All right. Thank you very much for watching this. If you enjoyed it or found it in any way informative, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe for more. And I'll see you in a couple days. Bye.